you look at the statistics, like the people who are in that age group are usually single soldiers
Yeah.
that probably need some way of decompression
Yeah.
in a stressful job. So
Yeah.
for them to be able to offer that to people who might be stressed out or
Yeah.
just having a rough day, missing home or something like that,
Yep.
and to take their mind off of doing some dumb shit, I'm all for it.
That's
Like
awesome.
I love their mission. Like
Excellent.
I'm always behind behind all this stuff they do. They're great.
Uh,
Hey, she's a beauty.
Welcome to Tarducks, a podcast for content creators to come on and share their stories, advice, and share their experiences. And today I have PoolShark. Welcome.
What's up?
Happy to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right. So, normally what we do is we kick off the pod with a few rapid questions. But first, I'd like to thank you for your service. I understand you served.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate what you did for our country. And, it's a special breed of people who can do that.
They're all broken now.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, all right. So, first question is, what was for supper tonight? Or dinner?
I had a salad.
All right.
I just had a
easy.
salad. Like I don't know. I was eating. I had lunch and I was like, oh man, I'm hungry. And then we did like Lupo, Fab and I did that Omega Strikers tournament.
Oh,
And like
okay.
after that, I was just like, nah, I'm having a salad. Like I didn't even eat it all. Like I'm exhausted. Like for no reason. Like that game just took it out of me.
Oh, now what game is that one?
It just came out. It's called Omega Strikers.
Yeah.
It's like League of Legends meets ice hockey or air hockey.
Oh, I think I saw something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3v3.
Yeah.
And man, my old brain just does not. Like I'm rocking a killer headache right now. Like
Oh,
all the
no.
bright colors and the quick movement. I'm
Yeah.
just like burnt.
Jeez.
I'm burnt.
Oh. All right. So, question number 2. What was the last movie you saw?
The last one that I stayed awake through?
Yeah.
Probably Austin Powers. I watched it on Netflix the other night.
Oh, dude, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hadn't seen it in forever, so I was
Yeah.
like, nah, it's on Netflix. Watching
Nice.
it.
All right. And final question is, what was the sketchiest bar you've ever been to?
Oh God. Man, there's some places in Texas that I don't even remember the name to.
Why does Texas come up so many times when I say this question?
It's just because it's such a big place, and
Yeah.
there's always these little shady, little seedy outposts in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I just every once in a while you find one, and I happened to go see a concert there for a band I'd been like huge fans of forever.
Yeah.
But man, was it it was the skankiest bar I'd ever been to. It was gross.
Oh, and what was the band that was playing?
Spine Shank.
Okay. All right.
They're an
cool.
older, I'd say like I don't know, early 2000s like new metal.
Okay.
So yeah,
Ah.
they didn't really tour much.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're gonna be like 30 minutes away, because that was stationed at Fort Hood,
Yep.
and that place is terrible anyway.
Oh,
And
jeez.
so we're like, oh, let's just drive out to this place, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. It was
Oh my God.
there was like no town around. It was just like a random bar
Yeah.
in the middle of like a long quiet road. It was weird.
Now, was the stage like fenced off with like chicken wire or anything like that?
No, and it literally was just a step up from the main floor. So
Oh
it
my
was just
God.
like the band, and like 6 inches below is us. It was so weird.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
I had a special ops guy on, and I asked him that question about the sketchiest bar, and he said it was Chad, Africa, and there was a handmade sign that had a cross through it, like an X, and an RPG, like no RPG. Like wow, okay, that's a good one.
I guess that's something you don't really want in a bar, so that makes sense.
Absolutely. So
Good on them for knowing what they don't want there.
yeah. Oh, all right. So let's get things started. So you were in the service. What branch were you part of?
I was Army from '06 to 2013. I
Yep.
was infantry. They broke me. Then
Yeah.
They kicked me out.
Oh man, what made you
Kicked me
decide
to
to
the curb.
sign up?
Boredom. I was just bored.
No
Like
way.
I was working for a draft an engineer,
Yeah.
civil engineer, and
Oh,
hey,
this
what's
puppy
up?
dog.
I was working for a civil engineer, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I was drawing blueprints, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. I hate this. Like I hate this with a passion. Like this is
Oh,
mind numbing. So I
yeah.
was like, I'm either going to college or I'm finding a new job. And then drove by a recruiter station. I'm like, you know what? Why not?
Holy
And
cow.
then I joined. Yeah.
Now, what made you pick Army over Air Force or Marines or Navy?
Probably lack of knowledge
Yeah.
on what branch does what.
Yeah.
Plus those cool videos that they show you when you sign up.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want to kick some doors in and shoot some terrorists? I'm like, I do. I really do. That sounds fun. Let's do that.
Oh,
And
man.
then I got in. I'm like, man, maybe I should have did a little bit more research on this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I had a Devil Dog Gamer on, and he goes, there's only one thing. There's only two things you can do when you get out of the Army, versus go, Air Force and whatnot. And he goes, work at Walmart or work as security.
Security. Yep. You can be a cop. You can work at Walmart. Or you can be a security guard.
Yeah.
Like, there's no different. Like that's
Wow. So, with that being said, what did you do when you got out?
it. So right when I got out, what did I do? Oh yeah, I didn't do shit. I just went to school. Like I used because I had I was service connected. Like I was med boarded, so I was
Yeah.
medically discharged. So I got it's called vocational rehabilitation or something like that.
Yeah.
Employment. Yeah, and they changed the name of it now. But it was I got to go to school. They bought me supplies for school.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, there you go. Here's a bunch of money. You go to school. So I just went to school, and while I was doing that, I kind of was like dabbling back into gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
Where because before I joined, I moderated forums for Battlefield. Which
Oh,
is,
okay.
over there.
Yeah.
All those things. I was a moderator for the official forums, and like
Oh,
before
wow.
I joined,
Yeah.
and then I joined. I'm like, hey, I need to not do this for a while.
Yeah.
And then as I was getting ready to transition out, I got back into it. And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
that's when they started inviting me out to like feedback sessions with like content creators and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like while I was going to school, I was doing like feedback gaming sessions
Yeah.
with devs all over the world. So like
Oh,
I was
wow.
kind of bouncing that back and forth. Yeah.
Oh, that's very
pretty
cool.
fun.
So now, before the whole Army thing and being Battlefield where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
So I was born in upstate New York, like way upstate.
Yeah.
Like an hour away from Canada, so way
Yeah.
up there. And as a kid, parents divorced. I went with my mom, came down to Florida,
Yeah.
grew up here, graduated, was married married. I don't know, a month. Yeah, about a month before I left for basic training.
Oh my God.
So like because like I had known my wife since what grade was I in? 10th grade, I think.
No way.
Like not like actively friends or
Yeah.
anything, but knowing of each other, and then became friends and like later on in high school, and then dated after I graduated, and then married before I went to basic.
Oh,
So like
shoot.
we knew like where we were going with that.
Yeah.
So like 3 months after marriage is whoop, gone. And so that was stress. Like
Yeah, I bet.
just jumping right off the deep end. There was no wading in.
Oh God. And now,
Yeah.
what was it like, jumping into, joining up where you've already been, previous training, career, and now you're jumping feet first into this?
Yeah, it was it was I kind of just I don't know. I always take things in stride.
Yeah.
I don't really expect too much out of things. So like when I did it, I'm like, this is probably gonna suck. So I'll just roll with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like it did suck, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like I just expected it to suck, so it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, they beat you down to like
Oh.
where you're just like accepting it. So it's
Yeah.
you kind of just get used to it after a while. And
Oh,
it just
man.
becomes just a different way of life.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, because that's actually something Devil Dog was talking about when he got out. His only people he could relate to were people who were, just the way you talk to people and everything like that. It was a big adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, people see it all the time on stream. Like I'm nonstop talking shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't ever hold back. Like I'm always screwing with somebody.
Yeah.
And like that was 12 years or not 12, it was about 12 years because like after before I got in, my buds were kind of like that already.
Yeah.
But then this took it to the next level where we're all friends, but we're all just like beating on each other verbally.
Yeah.
And like and the people that I play with now, like if they can hang, then we can hang.
Yeah. Oh, I've
Yeah.
heard some of the stuff. Absolutely. It's great content. Oh. So where did video games start for you? Where did they begin?
I would say like, oh man, where did they begin? We had, I think my first like actual remembering like of video games, we had an NES,
Yeah.
um, Mario and all that. So, but like being fully ingrained into gaming probably didn't happen until 97
Yeah.
with Final Fantasy 7. Once I got that game, like that's when I was like, gaming's pretty great. Like
Yeah.
this is pretty sick. Like these type of stories can like elicit these type of emotions out of people,
Yeah.
and that's what really pulled me in to where I was like, yep, I'm probably not going to quit this anytime soon.
Yeah. Okay. And then over the years, what are some of the games that really stick out for you?
Well, that one
Yeah.
specifically because it's like that's the beginning,
Right.
and then you have games with like where you get like make cool content with buds just hanging on the couch drinking whatever.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, GoldenEye, stuff like that. Battlefield was kind of my first foray into like big scale first person shooters.
Yeah.
Um, those are big ones, and then I mean there's always like those one offs that kind of hit you. Like a real good game that I played, like probably one of my favorite games of the last 10 to 15 years, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that game. Like just the like, there's no talking and the emotion that they can portray just
Yeah.
by the music and the sound effects and stuff. That's just that type of stuff is few and far between.
Yeah.
So those ones really stand out.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. And now, what was so if you picked out of all the Battlefield, the franchise, what is one of the, which is the one that really sticks out to you as your favorite?
2142.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's by far my favorite Battlefield game in the entire franchise. Like even the like Battlefield 3, which is highly regarded by most, and
Yeah.
Bad Company 2. 2142 for me is like pinnacle first person shooter.
Yeah.
It made huge advances in like game modes and setting and not really leaning too far into the sci-fi and
Yeah.
still maintaining some reality. Like that was by far like the pinnacle of live die repeat shooters for
Yeah.
me.
And now what happened with this latest one? How did they go so far off the rails? Like, honestly, BF4 is probably my favorite. And all they needed to do was just, replicate it and update a graphics engine.
Dude, I don't know, man. We've told them every time. We're like, every time they do a release, because I used to do feedback.
Yeah.
Like they'd fly a bunch of us out to Stockholm
Yeah.
to go talk to devs and be like, these are your fans. These content creators right here have been with your franchise forever. Here's some regular fans. Like this was before I was even streaming, so like
Yeah.
I was just a fan.
Yep.
And they're like, these are people who played your game and know what makes Battlefield good. And we told them everything, and it's like every release, like the things that we told them that needed to be like in the game were just skeleton crew there. It was crazy.
Oh man. And now, how did you get hooked up into that whole, be part of working with the devs and providing the feedback and whatnot?
So, I mean, being a moderator, that was like the step in the right direction.
Yeah.
They knew that I was kind of there just part time and just having fun.
Yep.
But I used to do like I mean they like their feedback in forums.
Yeah.
And so I would always post my feedback as well as threads, and they're like, hey, we might have something for you to do. Like, do you want to fly out here and talk to the devs and
Yeah.
have some one-on-one time with them?
Wow.
And it's like, yes, I do. yeah. I think I've only been out of the country a couple times, and they were not ideal. I'd like to go have a fun out-of-country experience. So I was like, yeah, I want to do this.
Oh man, that's so cool. All right, so now let's talk about the whole content creation and streaming. Were you creating content first, or did you go stream first?
What did I do first? So, oh yeah. Oh, so Titanfall.
Yeah.
Um, I knew their community manager pretty well,
Yeah.
and I played a lot of Titanfall. And I think the first things I did was some videos on like some how tos on how to play like certain Titans.
Yeah.
And then there was just like I was terrible at it, but like I just did it anyway. And I
Yeah.
mean, that was kind of like my first foray, and I would dabble in those. I'd do a couple Battlefield ones and a couple Titanfall ones,
Yeah.
but I that was like 2014,
Yeah.
2015. That was a long time ago,
Oh wow.
and I didn't even start streaming until 2018. I don't even know what year it is.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah, 2018. So like it was like 4 years before I actually started doing this and focusing on it as like a job
Oh wow.
and just dabbling.
Yeah.
Never thinking it was gonna go anywhere. Just like, yeah, here's a video. You got some money for me? Like, oh, hell yeah, I'll do that. Like, that works for me.
Damn. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Titanfall is a great game. So like such a cool concept.
Oh yeah, that's if there's a campaign, like if there was a first person shooter campaign
Yeah.
that I would put above the rest, it would be Titanfall 2's.
Yeah.
Just the cohesive story and the cool tech they did, like that one mission where you go back and forward in time where he just like does that and he
Yeah.
just switches between past and present. Like, that's such a unique concept, and I loved it.
Ah, cool. So what made you go live for the first time? What made you hit that stream button?
Um, it took a lot of convincing from
Yeah.
my buddy Tim Darkness.
Okay.
He was the one. He basically was like, "You should just give it a go," because I played a lot of games with him. When I wasn't streaming and
Yeah.
he was streaming, we would play like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
We'd get like his community members and we'd kind of like carry him up to a certain level and kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, and then like after a while, he's like, "You should just try it," and about a year and a half after that, I did.
Oh no way. And at what platform did you start on? Because I found you through Facebook, and it's like, oh wow, because really, when I think of Facebook, it's not what I think of streaming first. Normally everybody has their start on Twitch, so I was like, oh man, I got to talk to PoolShark. I want to hear this story.
So funny enough, I did start on Twitch. I did. So it was like, when was that? Like October 2017.
Yeah.
I went live. I think I went live for the first time, and I'm like, you know what? I'll put 20, 30 hours in here a week and see what it happens.
Yeah.
I what did I start with? I think it was Tarkov. I think my first
Okay.
stream on there was Tarkov. I was getting back into it after having some hiatus because of anger with the game.
Yeah.
So I came back. I'm pretty sure I started streaming Tarkov, but didn't really like stick to the game. I didn't have the whole like understanding of like you need to main a game on Twitch,
Yeah.
build yourself in the community. Like I didn't know any of that. So I was playing like Tarkov, and then I'd jump onto Fortnite or
Yeah.
something, and then I would jump into Sea of Thieves. It was such a crazy like jumping around, and I didn't really see too much growth. I think in like 5 months I got to like 1,500 followers,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is kind of doing a thing, but eh. And then Tim got a contract at Facebook. And he's
Oh
like,
shoot.
and then he did like a stream. Like they brought 40 creators over. They're like
Yeah.
the first batch, and he's like, maybe you should try over here. I'm getting crazy numbers playing these games,
Yeah.
and I'm not really putting like any different content out than I was on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I did it, and like I think the first stream had 1,200 viewers,
Holy crap.
and then the first week I had 10,000 followers,
Jeepers.
and like 6 months I had 100,000 followers, and I was sitting at like 3 to 4K concurrent,
Yeah.
like just for playing Fortnite with just the buds.
Yeah.
And it was early days. Facebook was the Wild West. It was crazy. Like the amount of views. There was times when I'd sit at like 8,000 viewers,
And now
and like
when you
just
you know
disappeared.
that's crazy. Like because like when like you said, you started off in Twitch and it was just you weren't getting the numbers, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you step over to Facebook and now you're dealing with numbers that the high end streamers on Twitch get. Adjusting to chat, that many people in, that must have been just crazy.
Yeah, I kind of focused my content onto not necessarily being like super serious competitive.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like, I'm just gonna do this dumb thing.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be my focus. So like when I started, it was Fortnite, and all the whole building thing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I hated building. So I'm like, I'm never gonna build. Like I'll build a wall and a ramp and
Yeah.
that's it. And I just kind of leaned into that. And people loved it because that allowed me to not really try hard in the game because that if you're building, you're trying.
Yeah.
And then that would allow me to pay attention to chat. So while my buds are building skyscrapers, I'm just sitting here plinking and talking to chat. And I mean, it did great. Like
Yeah.
it blew my page up. Like I don't know, I had like 100. I don't know. I'd say after the first year, I was like 150,000.
Yeah.
Close to 200,000.
That's crazy. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And now, what was the whole Facebook interface like? Those early.
It wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't good. I mean, and there's still some things to be desired.
Yeah.
Left to be desired, but initially it was just like, here's a link and here's your server and here's your stream key.
Yeah.
Start clicking buttons and hope it works.
Oh my God.
And I mean, sometimes it did, and
Yeah.
most times it didn't.
Oh Lord. And now, when did you sort of start coming back to Twitch? Because you stream on Twitch too, and I see you're a partner on Twitch from a Twitch standpoint as well.
Yeah. So it's been about 2 years now. Yeah, it's been about 2 years. I decided I'm like, I need to not rely on this one platform that's new, still building,
Yeah.
and could potentially not be a thing in 3 years. Like I
Right.
need to diversify, like eggs and all in one basket.
Yeah.
Like can't be doing that. And so then I think initially I did like a day here,
Yeah.
day there. It was like super random. Damn dogs clicking toenails. And like I just was like, all right, well I'm seeing good numbers. Like my followers are going up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should like make an actual schedule. That way, it'll help with Twitch and Facebook, so that Facebook people know that I'm going to be on Twitch these days.
Yeah.
And then Twitch people know like, hey, I'm going to be on Twitch these days every week, as opposed to I might see you next week, I might not.
Right.
And then I started seeing those numbers grow as well. So it's been pretty good growth on
Yeah.
Twitch for me right now.
Well, that's good thinking, because the last thing you want to do is have like a mixer incident happen, and all of a sudden, like you
Yeah.
said, it's like you're just stranded.
Yep.
Now, did you see the same people from your Facebook community come over to Twitch, or was that a whole different group of people?
So it was a lot of the Facebook.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about Facebook, Mixer, YouTube
Yeah.
is they don't mind putting in a different URL to watch their streamer.
Yeah.
Whereas Twitch to other places, there's a lot more Twitch purists
Yeah.
that won't leave that platform.
Oh, okay.
I found that when I'm doing streams, like I got a bunch of followers on Twitch that won't watch on Facebook. They'll
Really?
only watch on Twitch. Yeah, and that's been a pretty like consistent thing since I started there.
Now,
And
Do
I
you
get it. It's Facebook.
well, yeah, it is Facebook, but so
Yeah.
this is when I was like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go watch you, but like, okay,
Yeah.
now you see my real name inside of your chat. Do you think that's because there's a couple of steps you really need to do to sort of alias
Yeah.
yourselves?
I would say that the real name thing is good,
Mm-hmm.
but there's kind of like a caveat to that because I'm on Facebook and there's how many billion people on that thing?
Yes.
So your streams will sometimes get pushed to people who probably shouldn't be conversing with other people or be in public and
Yeah.
probably like chained somewhere because they're like heathens.
Yeah.
Those people like to come in every once in a while.
Oh God.
And it's like, how are you a human? Like, what are these people? Like, I don't get how. Like, I've had some of the most vile, vulgar shit said to me
Yeah.
on like promoted reels and stuff. When Facebook will be like, "Hey, this is doing well. We're gonna push it out to more people." Like, it's just some of the worst people,
Oh my God.
and it just gets It's like they don't even try to push it to gamers. They're just like shotgun it on Facebook and hope everybody gets it. And man,
Wow.
real name is a blessing, but you have all those extra eyes, so it's also kind of a curse.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Holy cow. So now, when did you hit your, so when you started, focusing a real schedule on Twitch, how far along before you got the check mark from a partner standpoint?
It's funny, like I had no intention of applying for partnership.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't gonna do it. I was just like, I'm an affiliate. I'm getting literally the same perks except for I can't do squad streaming.
Right.
I mean, partners don't get any different sub revenue split anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, why would I want to ruin a good thing by having them ban me because I'm clearly streaming on Facebook
Right.
still?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not touching it. Like I didn't touch it. And then I knew that once I found out the thing ended, the
Yeah.
exclusivity clauses. Once I found out those ended, I'm like, "Eh, apply, and it's like, yeah, you've been approved. I
Oh,
was like, all right,
shit.
that was easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the easiest partner story I've ever heard yet so far. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was super simple. It was just like I applied.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew I hit the numbers because I said like 1,000 plus,
Right.
and like my followers are there, and like it's all organic. It's not like I'm botting myself or anything.
Yeah.
And they just like, here you go. All right, you're partner now.
Oh shit, that's pretty awesome. Now that you're on both platforms, what are some of the things you like about the Facebook tools that you can have and that Facebook experience?
I would say from a streamer standpoint,
Yeah.
your analytics on Facebook are so in depth. Like I have breakdowns of what country, like percentage wise,
Yeah.
what the demographics between male and female, age demographics,
Oh
state.
wow.
It breaks it down by state,
Yeah.
who's watching by state. It's just the amount of stuff I have to understand who my audience is
Yeah.
without actually even needing to see a name or any other information
Yeah.
is wild. And that's a huge. I'd say that's probably one of the better tools
Yeah.
for growth is understanding what type of people you're catering to,
Yeah.
and that's solid. And it even shows like um, a lot of your viewers like this page, or a lot of your viewers like this page, and
Oh.
this is like it'll even go down to like on Facebook when you do likes,
Yep.
or I don't even know if they're called likes anymore, faces, follows, or
Yeah.
whatever they're called. It'll have like it'll be like, okay, this subset of people like Eminem.
Yep.
This subset likes the NFL, and is like, wow,
All
that's
right.
crazy.
Topics you could bring up and just
Yeah.
cultivate more people.
Mhm. Exactly.
Nice. Oh, that's very cool. And then from the Twitch side of things, what do you like on the Twitch side of things that you don't get from the Facebook side?
The simplicity.
Yeah.
Um, it in terms of like just the overall look of the platform,
Yeah.
Twitch is way more minimalistic, which is probably better in
Yeah.
terms for not necessarily like community growth, but definitely for fostering discussion.
Yeah.
I have a vertical screen like
Yep.
right over here. I have my chat every day on it, and it takes up like I don't know I'd say a little bit more than half of my screen because I have it up.
Yeah.
But on Facebook, your chat looks kind of as if like how on your if you're texting on your phone like an iPhone and there's the bubbles,
Yep.
it's essentially a screen full of bubble text. So it's just a lot of like extra space that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Like I want to read the words. I don't want to just have all this like alerts and
Right.
weird little animations on my screen. Like I don't need that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things they haven't really figured out is how to make things simple and less cumbersome for the streamer.
Yeah.
And man, Twitch has that down pat. Like there's no extra crap on your screen if it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be, if you don't want it to be there.
Oh, okay. That is good info. So now, what has in your opinion, since you went live, what's some of the harder things or the things that you struggle with?
Um, I I would say initially it was treating this as a job
Yeah.
because I didn't. I mean, I was like, I'm just playing video games for fun, and they just happen to make me money.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait a second, now this is paying my bills. Like this is a job, and then trying to think through like different moves and maintaining and marketing and like
Yeah.
all of the things that come along with like being a business owner
Mm-hmm.
is like amplified for this because it's an always online thing.
Yeah.
And for streamers, you're on camera for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And then you have to go be a parent or
Yeah.
a significant other.
Yeah.
And then you also have to run your business and try to figure out how to grow.
Yeah.
And man,
Where do you
that
fit in the
was-
extra time after that?
there's just no time. And
Yeah.
like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this job's not very hard. And I tell them when people ask me in my stream all the time, I'm just like, I think being an infantryman was easier than being a full-time streamer.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll go carry 100 pounds every day of the week if my brain doesn't hurt like this at
Yeah.
the end of a week. It's just like everything's just kind of mush,
Right.
and at the end of the day, I'm just like a husk, just kind of like dead on the
Yeah.
inside. It's crazy,
Yeah.
and the amount of focus.
Well, exactly. You know, first of all, you're on camera, so you gotta, you know, you can't be miserable. You can't be, you know, you gotta sort of, you gotta be on,
Yeah,
and you know, focus on chat or what you're playing. Then when you get off, okay, my socials, my business deals, creating some extra content, and now I've got to go. You know, parts of the day you're being the husband, you're being the dad, everything else that goes along with that, along with the adult chores. So yeah, it is. It's just
yeah,
more than games.
yeah. It's crazy. Like I know a lot of people don't look at it that way. They're just
Yeah.
like, oh, you're just streaming you're hitting a button and you go live. Man, the once you get to a point where this can be a career, so that pays your bills,
Yeah.
like that's when it starts, like everything in your brain just starts turning. Like mm,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough.
Absolutely. So now, when did you know you could take this as a career? Was there a certain moment, or just over a period of time?
Um. Man, I can tell you when I like made that choice.
Yeah.
I was getting out. I just finished school. Just got my degree.
Yeah.
Had a job lined up with a federal law enforcement agency, and I was getting ready to I had a report date out to Virginia and everything for this, and I was like on my way, and I don't know, it was about a month before I left. I was just like, man, I could play games and my body will last longer. I won't be as broken
Yeah.
if and I'd be home with family. Like I'd be able to see my kids every day. I could set my own hours.
Yeah.
Um, or I could go do this, have a guarantee, like at the end of 20 years, I'm out. Um, but the cons came with that as well.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this law enforcement thing. I'm done. And
Yeah.
I put in my paperwork. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and not do this.
Yeah.
And like, and that was terrifying.
Oh
Like
my God.
because I was making decent money doing
Yeah.
this, but I was like, this stability.
Yeah.
It didn't offer the stability because it was like Facebook again, and I
Yeah.
didn't know if this was gonna be. I didn't know if it was gonna last a month, or if I was shooting myself in the foot. I was
Right.
like, ugh. But it was right then. Like I didn't know. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea if I was there, if I was gonna continue to grow.
Yeah.
But I made the choice, and then just kept like just pushing through the hours, and
Yeah.
it worked out.
And you're happy
I'm,
too.
yeah, I'm much. Oh God, man, I'm cynical now. I couldn't even imagine how bad I'd be if I went to go work in federal law. Like I would have been.
Oh my God.
I'd be a miserable. Oh God.
Oh, so now what games did you start streaming with? Like, did you once you got focused, you mained a certain game for a period of time, and then you transitioned over to other ones, or you stuck with one?
So, man, I'll just kind of count like my start on Facebook is when I
Yeah.
started streaming because Twitch was kind of just like I'll just do whatever. Um, I started on Fortnite
Yeah.
and played that for about a year
Yeah.
and nothing else. Literally only Fortnite. And then near the end of that, I was just, man, that game, I got to find something else. And then right as I was kind of getting burnt out of that, Apex came out.
Yeah.
Um, and then I went to Apex and played that for about year and
Yeah.
a half, maybe about ish. And then as I was starting to get burned out of that, Warzone came out. I'm like, all right, we'll just stick with the BR theme,
Right.
just
Yeah.
keep it rolling. And I mean, I doing that, um, that helps with the community building because
Yeah.
it was BR,
Yeah.
and it was super easy to hold what I had already gained.
Yeah.
But the, definitely sticking with one game is, man, it's almost necessary now.
Yeah.
Like in order to even get a foothold in streaming.
Yeah. And now, when you made those transitions, did you just cut cold turkey Fortnite to Valorant, or not Valorant? Was Valorant your second one?
Apex.
Apex was like, did you just go cold turkey, or did you ease the transition?
Man, I don't think there was a transition. I think
Yeah.
it was like all right, Apex came out, I'm done. And, man, I'm like 99% sure that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Everybody knew, like they could see it in my face. I was
Yeah.
done with Fortnite, and I mean, I think it was better for everybody that I was done.
Yeah.
So it was like cold turkey, I believe.
And now, did you notice a difference in the different communities, or because they were BR? Okay, you did.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Apex community at the beginning,
Yeah.
because it's very different from what it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
But the Fortnite community to the Apex community was a drastic change.
Yeah.
Um, with a lot of those bigger VR games, like Apex is now and Warzone and all them, um, Fortnite was pretty toxic. Their community was pretty toxic. Like
Yeah.
there was some real terrible people in there, and I
Oh.
mean they showed up in chats. So switching to Apex would pretty much eliminated that because the toxic Fortnite fans stayed with
Yeah.
Fortnite, and then Apex was kind of built from scratch, so the toxicity didn't really creep in yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, all those big games, well, you get to a certain size, you're gonna get that fan base,
Yeah.
and it's not the fault of those specific games. It's just the popularity brings in turds.
Yeah.
So,
Well, do you think also there's two things to go along with like Fortnite? You typically think of a younger crowd, a more immature crowd, and also all three of those games are free to play too.
free,
So
yeah, free to play. Yeah, I also noticed. I would say that in Fortnite, a
yeah.
lot of the people who, at least from my community, they were late 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
40s, just kind of gaming for fun. So instead of they didn't have to like full time jobs, parents,
Yeah.
they didn't have to invest a lot of time or money
Yeah.
to just go in, do a game, get out, and then they're back with their families or
Right.
whatever. And so, like, I found it was crazy enough. There was a lot of older people in those communities
Yeah.
because of how quick a game is.
Okay. And now, over the years, what's been a couple of highlights for you? Like, I did this, or I played with XYZ, huge raid from somebody. What's been, some of the things that you look back and you're like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Um, in 2016, I got to do the Battlefield 1 like reveal.
Yeah.
Um, got to play Battlefield with who was next to me? It was the game was next to me. Wiz Khalifa was across from me. Snoop Dogg was across from
No
him,
way.
and like Jamie Foxx was there. Terry Crews was there. There was
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people there,
Get
and we just got
out.
to play video games with these people.
That is wild.
And then I would say this. I mean, this one's probably gonna top it, but just this past year, I went to the Super Bowl because of being a streaming ambassador for the USO. So like the
Oh,
USO is like, hey, you're a gamer, and then I got to go hang out with Rob Gronkowski.
get out. Oh my
So it
God.
was super cool. Yeah, like gaming took me there. While that wasn't gaming, I would say specific.
Yeah.
Gaming did that for me, which is insane.
Oh man. So what's Gronk like? Is he just wild as he comes across on TV?
Oh yeah, giant child,
Yeah.
super great guy, but he's
Yeah.
a giant child.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is awesome. Man, oh man. So now, somebody who, if somebody's thinking about going live for the first time, what advice would you have for them? And what platform would you suggest they jump into?
I mean, I give the same advice pretty much to everybody who asks me about going live.
Yeah.
Um, consistency. Um, understand what I mean. Understand what you're trying for, because like like in content creation, there's very like distinct groups. There's
Yeah.
people that try to be funny. There's people that put on a face or do a funny hat or something like
Right.
that. Like you got to know what you want when you go in,
Yeah.
and then you can fine tune it, like just by kind of feeding off if people show up,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, if people do show up, replying to them. Interaction as a smaller streamer goes a long way. Like if I go into a chat and there's like 2-3 people in there and I say something, they just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like what there's nothing, there's literally nothing else that makes me want to stick around if I'm trying to just kind of browse a category
Yeah.
for a new streamer in that category.
Yeah.
So I would say consistency, interaction,
Yeah.
and I mean figuring out who you are. That's
Okay.
probably the biggest thing.
Excellent advice. And now, you talked about community. How would you describe your stream and your community?
I mean, man. I'm super sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'm just nonstop shit talking. Like it's just who I am.
Yeah.
And I would say my community is definitely a reflection of that because
Yeah.
they're lots of trash talk and like it's all banter. Like nobody ever gets mad at each other, but like
Yeah.
everybody gives everybody a hard time. Um, I mean, we're not there to see it. I mean, I'm not some super great god gamer where I'm doing all this crazy shit. Like
Right.
I'm just there to have fun
Yeah.
with friends and talk with the community, like chat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, it's pretty much that. It's just nonstop buffoonery
Yeah.
is pretty much that's pretty much the best way you can explain me, my
Yeah.
gameplay, and my chat.
All right. Excellent. And now, when it comes to Tarkov, how did you find that game first of all? Like where, what was your path to Tarkov?
So I found that in and it had to have been like June of 2017. I had a buddy I used to game with all the time. He's like, "Hey, if I buy you this game, will you play it with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go."
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was, and we loaded up the first time, and none of us knew anything about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I haven't." He's like, "Oh, I haven't played it yet either."
Oh
So
God.
we just screwed off in the game for a long. I mean, the game was super broken.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much to it, but like the idea of it is what drew us in.
Yeah.
And like after we started figuring it out, which we never even thought to look on the internet for guides and stuff, we just kind of figured it out as we went.
Yeah.
And man, that was the game is so much different than what it
Oh,
was then.
God.
It's so much more fun right now.
Yes. And what is it about it today that hooks you into it that makes you fired up and jump into a raid?
There's no other game that makes me shake.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you play a BR, you get a win. It's like, oh, maybe you get a little bit of shakes.
Yeah.
Anytime you get in a firefight, or at least for me, if I get in a firefight with a 2, 3, 4 stack, by the end of it, my hand is pouncing.
Yeah.
Like, the adrenaline spike is insane,
Yeah.
and no games do that anymore.
Yeah. No.
And this one consistently has done it for over like almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah, it's amazing because you could have an encounter that could last 10 to 20 minutes, just some cat and mouse. You don't know, to me, it's a big pucker factor, those moments.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. So now when it comes to the quests and the tasks, what's your least favorite thing to do from the quest standpoint?
Capturing outposts.
Yeah. At least they lowered the
Honestly,
numbers of it, but
any quest that requires you to sit in a spot and camp,
yeah.
I think is kind of a poorly designed quest.
Yeah.
As capturing outposts, anything like that. Man, it just feels kind of rushed.
Yeah.
Like I get it, and and it's not even as bad if it was, not mandatory like it is now to
Right.
get the Kappa case.
Yeah.
Like if they just removed it again and just let you kind of push for the armband,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be so bad. But the way designed as is right now, it's just not. That is my least favorite.
Yeah. And now, with that being said, that quest in particular, or also coming from Battlefield and having the feedback and forums and whatnot, what kind of advice or suggestion would you, if you had Nikita's ear right now, you'd say, hey, do this. This would be tremendous for the game.
Man,
There's a lot, I know.
Oh God. Okay, so the one thing that I want for this game, I still don't know. It's like everybody has kind of a different like, oh yeah, I heard this and this. The thing I want this to be a completely open world game.
Yeah.
Like I want all of the raids and like a giant DayZ map.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how we'd do the rest of it, like the extracts or even hideouts. I'm not smart enough for that.
Yeah.
But like, man, if all the maps were as one, and you could just drop into like a 4-hour raid, even if they were raid based still,
Yeah.
just a 4-hour raid, and you could go from customs to shoreline to lighthouse to streets,
Yeah.
and then just be like, all right, I've had enough, and then extract.
Yep.
Like, man, oh, God, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Yeah, because like right now in this sort of lull that we're having now, this lull came quicker for me than probably in other wipes. I'm playing DayZ for the first time, and while I'm playing it, I'm loving it. But like, oh man, if Tarkov, the gunplay, the mechanics, that would that would be a perfect marriage.
Yeah, I went and played DayZ. I don't know, maybe a year ago,
Yeah,
and I hadn't played it in a long time, so I was going on modded servers that people recommended.
yeah,
Um, man, and I loaded in, got to a place, got some guns and stuff, and then got in my first firefight, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh yeah, that's why I don't play DayZ. I remember now. Like that was it, man. That's the clunkiest crap. Like, like
yeah,
it's a great survival game,
yeah,
but as soon as you have to pull a weapon out, like this is nah.
yeah.
Just go
No.
ahead and kill me, just please.
So now, when it comes to playing Tarkov, do you prefer solo or do you play, prefer squadding up and rolling with people?
It depends. I'd say early wipe solos
Yeah,
just for questing and loot. Like, I mean, all my friends are like loot whores, so I can't get anything in.
yeah,
But like, yeah, I'd say early wipe solo just so you can get some questing done, get some levels and stuff, so you can get to a comfortable place.
yeah,
And then probably once you get to like level 25, 30, back in groups
yeah.
because banter is probably the best content.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Now, with the loot whores, do they ever jump on your kills and take the stuff, or do they respect that piece of it?
Oh my god, Lupo is the worst.
Oh
Yeah,
no, is he really?
not nonstop. And like after a while, we're like, "Hey, I think did I kill that guy?" Like, "Oh yeah, here you go." Like, "Oh you, oh,
Oh, where's
oh
the etiquette,
yeah,
man?
man." And he just plays it off. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't know." Like, you knew.
Oh, so now, question I have for you, being trained in combat and tactics and whatnot, call outs. Do you notice a difference when you're playing with people who haven't been trained? That the way they play is a little different, and is it more helpful when you play somebody who has been through the path you have been?
Um, there's definitely ways that people play. Like,
Yeah,
I know I play probably a lot more slow
yeah,
than a lot of people are used to because of like, I mean, like Willers and Landmark and them, they're jumping around the screen
oh,
doing
that's
bunny hops and
yeah,
barrel rolls and stuff. I like to play angles.
yeah,
Um, uh, I, I like to. I think the biggest thing that I like doing in this game, and it seems like a lot of the like I play with some buddies that I deployed with.
yeah,
Um, they're very similar where they'll try to figure out like, all right, we started here, so that
yeah,
means somebody's over here, and if we can't find them here, like, are they gonna go this way or are they gonna go this way?
yeah,
And you just kind of like figure out. You try to get in their heads, and then
yeah,
you like go to those angles and wait and be like, yeah, I knew it.
yeah,
It's coming right here. And I think it's like just kind of understanding because people are creatures of habit,
yeah,
even in video games. And like once you figure out like, all right, this is a hot spot. This is a hot spot, and you can just go there and they'll just loot everything for you,
yeah.
and you take it for them. Yeah.
Nice. So now, who do you roll with? Who do you roll with most of the times if you're rolling a squad?
I would say, I mean, I just taught I taught another streamer this wipe, but I would say probably our most man, yeah, I'd say it's the most usual squad would be like me, Lupo, Darkness,
Yeah,
and then there's kind of like rotations
yeah,
through there, like with Jen and Amy
yeah,
and Trip and Fab. Like basically, we've got this giant group of people who we play Tarkov.
yeah.
So now it's a lot like shuffling around nonstop to get into groups now.
Yeah. Now, isn't that one of the coolest thing about the community? Because I see all the different streamers are playing, like Ash and Vaughn will play together, and they'll bring in somebody else, and it's
Hmm.
just it seems like there's a really cool vibe with and it doesn't matter if you're pulling high numbers or you're just cracking into the hundreds and whatnot.
Tarkov. I mean, I think the only other game right now that I would say has a similar like welcomingness to
Yeah.
their community would be Sea of Thieves.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, like those two communities are like always super cool with new people.
Yeah.
I mean, the content creators are all like they all know each other
Yeah.
somehow. And and Tarkov's the same way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just it seems like everybody kind of knows everybody in that directory,
Yeah.
and like viewers are always crossing over and stuff. So I mean, it's a really cool community, especially in the content creation. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody kind of has like, I mean, we're all weird, and we all apparently hate ourselves to where we play Tarkov
That
as our
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all kind of have this understanding of like, yeah, self-deprecation. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Oh man. So now from creating other content, do you branch out? Are you doing TikToks, YouTubes, or really just focusing on the live aspect of things right now?
I mean, I have like requirements for Facebook for my
Yeah.
contract. So I mean, I have to make reels, I have to make videos.
Yeah.
But, man, I hate doing that stuff. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I just want to get online and have some fun with buds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to try like the recorded and voiced over and stuff. I
Right.
hate that stuff.
Ah,
I just want to do my thing.
yeah.
And if somebody wants to edit it down eventually, that's all them. Like I'll pay somebody down the road to do that. But,
Yeah.
man, I hate it. I hate it.
And now, if you look down the road for the next couple of years or 5 years, what do you foresee yourself doing? How do you think you're going to adapt or change? Or what plans do you have?
And hopefully in 5 years, I will be off the internet in a mountain somewhere away from humans.
Nice.
Like in 5 years, I don't want to be streaming anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's in 2 years, I really don't want to be. But like, I'm honestly, I'm trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we just started Meta PCs. That's our like, so I've got that.
Yeah.
I've got a government contracted thing for the VA
Oh, cool.
for veterans and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I want that to grow
Yeah.
so that I can pull away from this.
Yeah.
And not like I want to game for fun again.
Yeah.
If that it's probably gonna sound weird to people, but like we game for fun now because or else we wouldn't play the games.
Right.
But there's like just a different level of fun, I would say, when you're not streaming and
Yeah.
you're playing a game. I want that back.
Yeah.
And because like when I'm done after 8, 9 hours a day streaming, I'm not playing games for fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to look at a screen,
Yeah.
let alone like, oh, let me pick up this controller. And, like,
Well-
no, I'm done.
And I'm sure there's some days where, I want to play something different than Tarkov. I want to go back and
Yeah.
play this or play that. And that's, like you said, that's fun.
Yeah, and I mean like, I mean I don't really have to maintain any numbers and stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
So if like I ever get it to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go play this 20-year-old game that I love really, really, really much. Like,
Yeah.
this is my favorite thing, and you know what, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like, you're either gonna sit here or you're gonna like it. And I mean that's probably the good thing about the position I'm in on Facebook is I
Yeah.
can do that.
Nice.
But man, I just want to get back to like every game being that to where I
Right.
could just do. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to play games today. I'm just gonna go like,
Yeah.
nah, I gotta pay my bills. I gotta make sure my lights stay on.
Yeah. So now two things there. One, I had, Meta PC. So what is Meta PC?
It's a PC company with a few other guys. Zach Shutt, Kyle, JD. There's others, but I mean Zach has been part of another company who built PCs and then
Yeah.
branched off to do his own thing. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this." Like, I went out of here eventually
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, we started Meta PCs and sell
Cool.
custom gaming PCs.
And what's unique about Meta PCs?
Everybody that works there is insane. Um, no, I mean, we just try to be. I mean, Zach is a huge meme lord.
Yeah.
So I mean, he just likes to, I'd say, just expand people's knowledge about PCs. Like,
Yeah.
That's. I mean, he's been around PCs and building PCs his whole life, so
Yeah.
he like has like a passion for it.
Yeah.
And he just likes sharing that type of passion with other people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming everybody in the industry has that similar passion in order to get into it.
Yeah.
But it's just cool to see like people get excited about their work.
Oh,
So
excellent.
it's neat.
Cool. And then the other thing I want to ask you about is your relationship with the USO.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago now, had a bud reach out and he's like, "Hey, we're starting the USO starting a gaming ambassador program." and they want to know if you want to be part of the beginning of it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I do charity streams every year for
Yeah.
like vet or active duty foundations. I'm like, absolutely. Like I've used the USO myself, so why wouldn't I want to do this? Like that would be stupid of me.
Yeah.
And then we started it, and it's been they kind of been like pivoting here and there to try to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
But they have gaming centers opening up on a bunch of different military bases where they essentially have built PCs
Yeah.
and like mini land centers. So, I mean, they're pivoting into gaming, and it's fun. Like I love doing streams on
Oh, excellent.
their channel, and sometimes we've had who did I play with? Played with a band, Butcher Babies. That's right,
Oh,
Butcher
no
Babies.
way.
And there's been others. There's been like sports player, like I think there's a few basketball players.
Yeah.
Um, I I probably played with. Man, my memory's so bad. But I'm pretty sure I played with somebody
Yeah.
that was like on a professional sports team at some place. But yeah, I mean they're just trying to like reach. I mean, it's all obviously it's like a charity, so I
Yeah.
mean they're trying to just push their reach to where they can reach soldiers, like
Right.
other people who are like, oh wow, gaming is not a weird stigma anymore.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
So
Yeah,
that's good that they're doing that, because you look at the age of who's serving. Everybody who's coming in has probably played
early
some sort of
20s. Yeah,
Everybody's played Call of Duty, Fortnite. They're gamers,
yeah.
and that's good that they're thinking about that.
And I mean, you just look at the statistics. Like the people who are in that age group are usually single soldiers
Yeah.
that probably need some way of decompression
Yeah.
in a stressful job. So
Yeah.
for them to be able to offer that to people who might be stressed out or
Yeah.
just having a rough day, missing home or something like that,
Yep.
and to take their mind off of doing some dumb shit, I'm all for it.
That's
Like
awesome.
I love their mission. Like
Excellent.
I'm always behind behind all this stuff they do. They're great.
Oh, excellent. All right. So earlier I reached out to Ames, or Amy, to send in, ask for a couple of questions to ask you. So she gave me a
Yeah.
couple. Nothing bad, I don't think.
Oh,
So,
oh
so
God.
first of all, who is the most chaotic player you've played with, and why?
Hmm. Who is the most chaotic? Um, it's probably Lupo.
I was like, he's going to say Lupo.
And like there's a couple people, but honestly, I think is Lupo.
Yeah.
He goes from like one extreme to the other and somehow gets louder every time he goes from each extreme. So like it's an assault on the eardrums
Yeah.
is what it is. And it's just like I don't know what to do. And it's like sometimes your just mind is just spinning.
Yeah.
And he's just doing his Lupo thing.
All right.
And he just does that mid raid. So yeah, I would say I would probably say him. Yeah.
All right. So her next question is, what's the worst realistic Jaeger task that you could see being added to the game?
God.
I know.
Realistic Jaeger test.
Yeah. Because Jaeger has the worst tasks in this game.
Man, oof. I don't know how to make a realistic Jaeger task. I mean, they're all bad.
They're all shit. Yeah.
Man, if I could add an actual Jaeger task,
Yeah.
it would be melee a PMC in his legs while low crawling.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll take
Yeah,
that one.
I would do that. Like I would just do that because that's horrible.
Yeah.
And nobody would want to do it ever.
Oh my
Like
God.
who's gonna low crawl up to somebody and smack him in the leg with a knife?
Right. 'Cause
Nobody.
yeah. And when you're
But Jaeger
crawling.
would.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaeger would. Because when you crawl in this game, you sound like you're pack elephants. Yep.
You're dragging a cinder block with you on concrete. It's so weird. It's such a weird noise.
It absolutely is. All right. So what in her, she got two more questions. One is, what's your favorite Tarkov moment?
You know, that's actually a really good question. This is okay. I'm gonna get real cheesy and sappy here.
Yeah.
But honestly, like my favorite Tarkov moment isn't even a moment in Tarkov. It's just all the people that I've met
Yeah.
in the Tarkov community, being able to actually meet them because of Tarkov, and like there's like real friendships forged from that.
Yeah.
So it's not even I wouldn't even say it's a moment in Tarkov, but
Yeah.
it's a moment because of Tarkov.
Excellent. That's a great
End of
answer.
sappiness.
All right, no more. Okay, that
That's
one
it.
feeling you had,
Yeah.
we're done.
It's already I've used it for the year. I'm out.
All right, so here's a wild one. She said, if you could add one thing to the game that's totally outlandish, what would it be? And NFTs and sex don't count.
Ah, I knew she'd do that. That jerk. Um okay, so it's a real thing, but it's super outlandish. Cerakoting. Cerakoting weapons because like I mean, you've seen pictures of Hello Kitty M4s and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Like add that to Tarkov.
Okay.
I want that.
You want a
Like
Hello Kitty M4?
yeah, I do. I mean, I can do it in real life. Why can't I do it in
Yeah.
Tarkov? I want that. I want something that looks like you know what? I want a Charizard themed freaking AA-12 shotgun with Dragon's Breath ammo. Like, give me that.
I think Baddie just went from 6 to midnight when you said that. All right. So on that note, so will you be going to TwitchCon at all to see the folks? No.
Now, I kind of swore off conventions for a while.
Yeah.
And like I haven't really been out
Yeah.
to like big events and stuff. So I know the first one I go to, I'm just gonna be deathly ill afterwards
Yeah.
because of the con crud. So I gotta like ease my way back into them, I think,
Yeah.
before I go to another one.
Gotcha.
And California's gross. So
Yep. All right. Good enough. All right. So what other are there any other content creators out there you like to watch that people should check out?
I don't really watch many streams.
Any of your boys on Facebook that you know people should go check out? Leave the Twitch safeness and branch out.
No, that nobody's gonna do that. And besides, most of the people that are worth watching already split their time between Twitch anyway, because
Yeah.
there's always the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah. Honestly, like if I'm watching a stream outside of like the buds that I already play
Yeah.
with, Summit.
Yeah.
I watch Summit just because he's kind of an ass like I am, and I relate to that. So I watch him.
All right, cool. So now, after you disconnect for the day or the evening, what's life outside of content creation like? You're a dad and a husband.
Oh God, it's yeah.
Any
chaotic.
hobbies?
No, dude, I don't have time for hobbies. I go to the range every once in a while. And
Yeah.
shoot real lead. That's a good stress relief.
Nice.
If there's any hobby, it's probably shooting at the range
Yep.
and owning weird weapons. So
Now, out of the weird weapons, what is the one gun you love to just you look forward to loading it up and just shooting it? Takes you away from all the other crap that's going on.
it's probably my MDR.
Yeah.
I have a Desert Tech MDR, and in 5.56 that thing is a blast to shoot.
Yeah.
And I just like going to the range and plinking with it. And
Oh, cool.
it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't harass you when you shoot. There's no recoil because it's 5.56, and it's just a fun gun to go mess up, put some holes in some steel.
It's funny you said it. There's no kick to it. I had Uneventful Gamer on, who's a special ops guy, and he did CQB in breaching and whatnot over in Afghanistan, and he goes, he loves his Bernoulli shotgun because
Oh yeah.
when you shoot, they don't get back up. When you get shot by an M4, it's like getting stung like a bee. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say that before. It's like shit.
It's the round. It's just not a round. It's not meant to do damage. It's meant to just go right through you.
Yeah.
And hopefully hit a bone on the way through.
That's wild.
But yeah. The shotgun, yeah. Those Benellis, man, those things pack a punch.
Oh man! So I gotta ask you, what are those helmets behind you? Are they Are they Clone Wars or Mandalorians?
That one.
Yeah.
That one right there is Titanfall 2.
Oh, okay.
That one's Mass Effect.
Okay. And Fallout.
And that one's Fallout Power Armor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Excellent. All right. Well, hey, that was it. We got to the end of the pod. One question I got to ask you though is, you've been on the pod now. You got to call out somebody who you don't like or think might have a good story to come on. Who you calling out?
Huh. Um. Hmm. Honestly, I think he'd probably be a because he's another older guy.
Yeah.
Fab.
All
I
right.
think Fab would do well on this
Excellent.
because he has kind of a similar but different story of being a
Excellent.
kind of a military guy in
Yeah.
Coast Guard. Um,
Oh, he was
but
Coast
yeah,
Guard?
yeah, he was Coast Guard.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he's had a weird path for content creation too.
Yeah.
So I think his story would be pretty interesting if he actually tells it all.
All right. There we go. Cool. Well, hey, Pool Shark, thank you. Actually, no. Actually, how did you get your name, first of all? I forgot to ask you about that
Oh,
one.
yeah. PoolShark came from was it 10th grade in high school, I think. Um, Me and my buds used to go to bars and
Yeah.
hustle old people out of money because I was really good at pool.
In
And
10th grade.
yeah, 10th grade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I did that for a while.
Yeah.
Used to just go to bars and like pretend to be the dumb high schooler, and
Little,
then come out with hundreds of dollars.
nice. So little Tom Cruise, Paul Newman, that pool movie that they did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where I got it from. Like my
Oh,
bud's just
shit.
like, you're a pool shark, and that's been my thing since what 2000.
Oh,
2000.
man. That's crazy. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you again for doing this. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for your
Yeah, you as well.
service.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it was good. I had fun. I'm glad I got to do it, and my internet is still alive.
Excellent.